By the late 1970s, Iran had become one of the fastest-growing economies in the Middle East. The ruling Shah, a Western-educated man, was leading Iran through a transformation towards modernization. During Shah's rule, women were participating in public life at levels uncommon in the region at the time, attending universities, working in professional fields, and holding public offices. Iran's average income level was nearing that of West European nations, but all of this was about to come crashing down. Within a remarkably short period of time, the development trajectory was violently reversed. The country's ruler was forced into exile, hard-won social freedoms were dismantled, and a society that appeared stable and modern was transforming into something almost unrecognizable. This is the story of loss, but also that of hope. This is the forgotten story of Iran that once was. Iran's modernization journey started in the 1940s, when Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi took over. Mohammad Reza was educated in Switzerland, and in his youth he was shaped deeply by European political and cultural influences. Inspired by Europe's economic and technological progress, he was determined to put Iran on the path to rapid modernization. In 1963, the Shah announced White Revolution, an aggressive modernization plan with the ultimate long-term aim of transforming Iran into a global economic and industrial power. The program had 19 elements, which included land reforms, nationalization of forests, privatization of state-owned enterprises, profit-sharing plan for industrial workers, and education policy changes, among others. The White Revolution proved to be incredibly successful in transforming Iran's economy and society. It redistributed land to approximately 2.5 million families, and in the decades following the revolution, per capita income for Iranians skyrocketed. From 1965 to 1976, Iranian per capita income rose 8 times, from $195 to $1,600. And in the next 2 years, it crossed $2,400, which was way higher than many East European countries and some West European countries like Portugal. Iran's growth was expected to continue, with half of the Iranian families expected to own cars by 1985 and per capita income reaching $4,500. During the early 1970s, with the success of the Shah's White Revolution, Iran had become one of the Middle East's most flourishing spots for investment among foreign investors. Iran's economic position in the 70s was so strong that after the 1973 oil crisis, it extended a $1 billion loan to France and provided financing to several developing nations. But not everyone welcomed Iran's modernization in close alignment with the West. There were many who saw this as a threat to Iran's cultural and religious identity. Apart from the economy, the Iranian education system also made huge strides under Shah's modernization project. Between 1967 and 1977, the number of universities increased from 7 to 22, and the number of students in higher education soared from 36,000 to more than 100,000. Many Iranian university students were sent on exchange programs to Western countries. Iran's literacy programs were among the most innovative and effective anywhere in the world. And by 1977, the literacy rate went from just 26% to 42% in just a decade. The Shah also instituted exams for Islamic theologians to become established clerics, thereby limiting clerical control over learning. It was a reform that challenged long-standing clerical authority and placed the state on a collision course with the clerical class. Perhaps the most significant achievement of the modernization program was the transformation of women's role in Iranian society. Under Shah's rule, women's participation in public life increased dramatically. Socio-religious factors limiting women's interaction with men were dealt with through policy changes. The women were encouraged to dress in modern Western-style clothing instead of traditional Islamic clothing. They were granted the right to vote in 1963 and were subsequently also elected into parliament. Women increasingly enrolled in universities to get higher education and then entered professions such as healthcare, education, and law, transforming Iran's social landscape. The family protection laws of the 1960s and 70s improved women's rights further, raising minimum legal marriage age from 13 to 18 and strengthening women's standing in divorce and child custody matters. These changes were most effective in urban areas and middle classes, and while they didn't eliminate patriarchal norms, they marked a major shift in women's social and political presence. While this cultural and economic boom created a sense among many Iranians that their country was entering a new era, it also sowed the seeds of discontent in those who preferred traditional values over the West-oriented modernization approach of the Shah. Shah's autocratic approach and the use of secret police in suppressing dissent created many political enemies who exploited the fault lines that developed during the rapid modernization of society. By the winter of 1978, major demonstrations became increasingly common in Iran's major cities, led by various political factions. And by early 1979, Islamist hardliners took complete control of the movement. In January 1979, the Shah left Iran with his wife, and on February 1, 1979, Ayatollah Khomeini took over Iran. Khomeini declared Iran an Islamic republic, and the Islamist clergy promptly moved to force a return to conservative social values. The Family Protection Act, which provided guarantees and rights to women in marriage, was declared void, and mosque-based groups patrolled the streets enforcing Islamic codes of dress and behavior. Khomeini and his successor over the decades slowly transformed Iran into the country that we see and know today. However, the Iranian people have not simply accepted these injustices in silence. In recent years, the Iranian public, especially women, have risen in protest against repression, particularly against the abuses linked to moral policing by Islamist hardliners, with a scale and intensity not seen before. Now, whether the people of Iran will succeed in overturning the Islamist system and reclaim an open, forward-looking Iran, or whether the clerical establishment will continue to dominate Iranian society, only time will tell. Let us know in the comments what you think about Iran's future, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories from our past. As always, thanks for watching.